Good evening. It's January 31st, 2025, Friday. We're in Studio 6C, and it's my pleasure and honor to speaking with World War II hero, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr.
Good,
Jeckovich?
very good, very good.
You're looking well. The man has a closet the size of a 12 by 12 room for all of his clothes. This guy wears different clothes every single day. You're looking very nice in your new clothes.
Yeah.
And a new designer.
This is a nice warm jacket. You got this one from
Ireland.
Ireland, this one, yeah. This
Yeah, that
is
one
warm.
came from Ireland. It's the sheep country of the world.
Tell me about this guy here.
Okay, we got a text that just came in with a gift in the mail. What is it from?
It's from New York, New York. From
Okay.
Some designer named Golyoy.
Galio.
Oh,
From Galio.
It's a new designer. He does streetwear. He wanted you to have
Streetwear.
this.
Galio
now who's
says,
this from?
This is
Golyoy.
from a designer out of New York, New York.
Galio.
Designer?
Yeah, hold
Yeah.
Galio, he says he watches your show every day. He's from New York, New York. And what the hell is his name now? Galio. Hey, Galio, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. I'll send him a thank
Yeah,
you
we'll
note.
have Mr. Jeckovich wear that tomorrow, and you can put it on your website.
Now, where's he, in New York?
Yeah,
New York.
Galio.
He designs clothes.
Street art.
He designs clothes.
Oh,
So we'll have you, Mr. Jeckovich, wear that tomorrow, and you will really look wonderful. I
Yeah,
can put that back in the
thank
book.
him for that.
I will.
We'll get a letter out to him. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, he's got two doctors, his left leg and his right leg. Mr. Jeckovich jogged for 80 years. What got you started jogging 8 decades ago?
Dr. Jennings.
And you haven't stopped, right?
No.
So you jogged for 8 long years, 80 decades, holy hell. 8 decades, wow, that's great determination. And during that time, Mr. Jeckovich never took a vitamin or a prescription pill. Mr. Jeckovich never took any type of vitamins. And were you a smoker and a drinker?
No.
Oh, I see. So you ran a pretty clean life.
Clean wife, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. When Mr. Jeckovich started jogging 80 decades ago, it was not fashionable as it is today. Now on every corner, many times a day, you see joggers. It's fashionable, and people realize it's great for your health. But when Mr. Jeckovich started jogging, they thought he did not have a vehicle and he did not have money for a vehicle, but that was not the reason. So when you start jogging 8 decades ago, what would people yell out to you?
Get off the road with it, Bob.
And what would they throw at you?
Garbage, rocks, cans of soup, and all that nonsense.
Yeah. So back then when Mr. Jeckovich started jogging, it was not acceptable or it wasn't fashionable. And the people would yell out to him, "Get out of the road, you bum. Can't you afford a car?" They'd throw empty cans of Genesee beer at him.
Yeah.
And one time, some degenerate shot a full can of Campbell's soup at him and popped him right in the head. Now, ironically, all those people that were sarcastic to Mr. Jeckovich and weren't aware he was doing this for healthy reasons, all of them are pushing up daisies. It's a fact of life. On the way to the studio today, Mr. Jeckovich, I noticed many joggers, and they had very expensive jogging uniforms, matching like leotards and coats and jackets and gloves and hats and like very expensive sneakers, and some of them he had belts wrapped around them with water.
Yeah.
Did you ever jog like
No,
that?
no.
How did you jog?
Pair of old pants, a pair of sneakers, and a t-shirt.
It did the job, right?
Yeah.
As time went on, as 80 years went on, did you ever go out to a sporting goods store and buy all that fancy stuff?
No, never did.
You had no interest in it?
No interest, no.
I wonder why these people are getting dressed to the nines. Fluorescent colors, hats.
But that's their ego,
Ah, I see. So your job was just to stay healthy, and you didn't give a crap what the hell you were doing, right?
Main purpose is to run.
And going hand in hand with Mr. Jeckovich's running, he worked at Kimberly-Clark for 35 long years. That's a factory. What did Kimberly-Clark make?
They made, there was two ships, one on Royal Ave made Kotex and Kleenex, and we made paper magazines, paper that they could print on both sides.
Okay. So, and what was the temperature in there?
In 120.
Okay. So Mr.
And
Jeckovich...
real noisy, you couldn't talk.
Very loud.
Sign language, yeah.
So Mr. Jeckovich went from 30 below at the Ardennes Forest in the Battle of Bulge, the coldest winter of record, to 120 degrees for 35 years. And this is tying into Mr. Jeckovich's jogging. How did you get to work for 35 years?
Well, now, here's another note. When I went to work, say I work at midnight, I go in between the truck that's parked at the carport in the garage, walk down the alley, dark alley, walk down the 30th Street, walk down Packard Road to work. Now I walked down, I was half an hour walking. Somebody could have picked me up, kidnapped me or anything else. Now, I never thought of that.
You never thought of that. And maybe things were different then.
Oh yeah,
Now
never
you
thought
probably
of
would
it.
get shot.
Yeah.
Now they shoot you in the head for the fun
Well,
of
they
it.
kidnap you.
Yeah, for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for 35 long years, it's tying in with the jogging story, so listen up. You walked to work. Did your car tire ever touch the parking lot?
No.
What would you do during a major snowstorm?
Walk to work.
What would you do during a major rainstorm?
Walk to work.
See? Simple answers. That's how you live a nice, clean life. Simple answers. You don't need a $600 jogging suit. You don't need to have bottles strapped around your waist to drink like a glutton every 2 miles. Simply, it worked. Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100. Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door at 100. So evidently it worked. Evidently it worked. So jog to work for 35 years, jogging during the day, and then walking to work for 35 years. And and then where he lived on Orleans Avenue in Niagara Falls, they got some hell of a snowstorms.
Yeah.
They got some hell of a snowstorms.
Cold.
What did you do during the blizzard of 77?
77?
The monster snow.
Luckily I had that four-wheel drive. I was taking people to work and picking the people who were late so they get them home.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So you were volunteering your heavy-duty 4x4 to pick up workers who couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it to work.
And then bring the relief
and
workers
bring it
home.
back.
Well, I had a four-wheel drive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing. And how many people you think you took to work during that blizzard?
Well, I took the shift coming out and the shift going in. I did that, well, maybe for a month.
How was it? Did you have chains on that four-wheel drive?
No, I never put chains on, no.
Did you have little spikes in the tires?
No.
And it just pulled right through the...
Yeah, well, sometimes on ice is hard because you got four-wheel drive, you got all four wheels on it.
Yeah. And so you worked at Kimberly-Clark for 35 years.
Yeah.
Correct. And then you've been retired for like 40-some years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pension or nothing.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. You brought it back. Kimberly-Clark, should I start off by saying, shame on Kimberly-Clark. life doesn't always go as planned. Mr. Jeckovich, right out of the war, put his heart and soul into Kimberly-Clark. These were good workers, like many World War II vets. And then shame on Kimberly-Clark. And let me just tell you a little background story. On any of my commercial properties throughout the United States, the managers are instructed never to have any Kimberly-Clark product in that building, period. There's no exceptions, and I'm going to tell you why. And then occasionally I would check on properties, no matter where the hell they are. Surprise, stop, see how it's looking, how the grass is, how the building's looking inside, etc., etc. The same surprise drop in to see if your property's being maintained. Occasionally, I'll find Kimberly-Clark toilet paper or the trade name Kleenex. Most of the time, I would just sit down with the manager and have him take those products and right to the dumpster. And that wasn't an error they made in malice, they just forgot. So we corrected that. We'll never buy Kimberly-Clark products. Most recently, I was to a property in Georgia, and they had the same products in that office building. And I guess I was feeling a little bit chipper that day, you might say. And instead of taking the Kimberly-Clark products and putting them in the trash, I took them to the back lot and I pissed on them, rightfully so.
Why everybody?
Tell us what Kimberly-Clark did to you. I mean, this is a story. What did Kimberly-Clark do to you?
There was no pension.
Okay, Kimberly-Clark was slippery and slimy.
Well, the NICEC took over, Canadian outfit took over.
Okay, here we go. The puzzle's coming together. All these World War II vets were due 35-year pension. That's a lot of money. It'd make their life a little bit easier to live, wouldn't it? Each month, getting a nice pension. Kimberly-Clark, shame on them, was slippery and slimy. They did some legal maneuverings, which was perfectly legal, but not humane. Perfectly legal and not humane. They bumped the ownership to a Canadian company, and then they later filed bankruptcy, correct? And all these legal maneuverings, which is really slippery, but legal, not humane, this voided out all these hard-working World War II vets of a pension. Horrible people, never buy a Kimberly-Clark product, and we never will either. Right to the garbage. Is that about how it worked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still in business.
Yeah, they're still in business. Well, a lot of people are in business that have no conscience. Kimberly-Clark Management, which I know who they are, they're all dead now, that did this trick. But Kimberly-Clark Management are the type of people, if you're on life support, they unplug you so they can plug in your cell phone to charge it. That's what type of scumbags they are. So they screwed over Mr. Jeckovich and thousands of other World War II vets. What a shame. Legal, but not humane. But during your time at Kimberly-Clark, laundromat,
Yeah.
snowplow business,
Yeah.
woodwork business,
Yeah.
cement business.
Yeah.
Which one did you like the best?
Which one I like the best? I like the woodworking.
Yeah, Mr. Jeckovich does woodworking today. You wouldn't believe the work he does. He restored 1940 jukebox. He took the front end of a 1959 Cadillac and mounted it into a custom bar. He made his grandson a beautiful revolving 8 or 9 foot tall revolving gun case.
For 10 rifles.
For 10 rifles, what a mind. He took a 1940s wooden phone book from the Beverly Hills Hilton, a 1940s wooden phone book from the Beverly Hills Hilton, and phone booth, I should say, a phone booth wooden, and he totally restored the whole phone booth.
Yeah. Well, how about those plates I put on that suitcase? Cut license plates.
Oh, yeah. And he's very creative. But let me just say about the phone booth births. And then when you get back with Mr. Jeckovich brought up, he's very, very creative. This phone booth that was given to Mr. Jeckovich to restore from the Beverly Hills Hilton Hotel and from the 1940s, it was so old, but he did a beautiful job restoring it. The door closes nicely. The light and fan above it comes on nicely. But it still has its original
14 minutes.
Still has original signs inside. And here's what the signs said. It was just the beginning of World War II. The signs say, buy more war bonds than you think you can afford.
Yeah.
Buy more war bonds than you can think you can afford. Now, getting back what Mr. Jeckovich said, he's very creative. He took license plates from all around the United States, and then he took briefcases and he carefully cut them and mounted them on the entire briefcase, both sides and the ends. And so now what you have is a custom-made, one-of-a-kind
license plate suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
I made two of them.
Yeah, he made two of them. It's so beautiful. It's unbelievable work this man would do. And then he'd help neighbors putting in a sidewalk. Never got paid.
The wiring for them.
You did some deck.
You
built the deck.
Deck up for JK, yeah.
You built a beautiful deck.
Yeah. Well, I could get a drink ball for her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even back then people, his relatives had some mental disorders.
I called Delphi's next door, give me a drink.
So let me just explain to me if I'm correct. You're building a deck on your own time, and your so-called, I put that in quote, your so-called daughter-in-law seen you sweating your ass off in the middle of a hot August day, and she wouldn't even bring you a glass of water.
No, I called Delphine.
So you had to call your wife to bring you a drink.
Yeah.
You see, I still believe most people are good in this world, but there's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of sociopaths with no empathy. There's a lot of narcissistic pigs. A lot of narcissistic pigs. Oh my God. The list is long, but I still believe there's more good people than bad. So let's get on. What else did you build? You put a mansard roof on your house.
Put a mansard roof on the house.
That's one hell of a big job.
Well, I remodeled it upstairs, and I put that shed up. Delphine and I put that shed up. Then we put an addition onto it.
Okay, let me just say that. Mr. Jeckovich built in his Florida house a beautiful workshop. Every tool in the world that's in it, with the only help of his wife.
Yeah.
And then behind that, he built another tool shed. And then it doesn't end here. And then he expanded his whole house with a beautiful Florida room with vaulted ceilings.
Yeah.
Oh, and with only one helper.
My wife.
Your wife. Whoa. This guy could build. He could set an example for everybody. That's why I say Mr. Jeckovich has done a little bit of everything. And he's just trying to make everyone's life simpler. His mind is like a library. His mind is like a library. So text any questions. It could be about woodworking, electrical, plumbing, lifestyle, marriage.
11 minutes.
Marriage. He's been married how many years?
69 years.
Yeah. Any questions? This is the guy to ask. 100 years old. Ask him while you can. Text us at area code 407-366-0000. In fact, if you want Mr. Jeckovich to talk with you someday, he'd be glad to. He's doing this to share information, to make a younger person's life easier, so he doesn't have to go through you don't have to go through the battles that he did. Mr. Jeckovich's father came from the dirtiest, filthiest, hardest working town in Russia, and he came to Niagara Falls, New York, to give Mr. Jeckovich a better life. He was a legal alien. He came from Ellis Island. Didn't take nothing, only gave. Didn't take nothing, only gave. He was trying to give Mr. Jeckovich, his son, a better life. What happened? Working 3 jobs, cement work is hard. He would spin his own cement. Mr. Jeckovich got a phone call, got a knock on the door from the police. 43-year-old father into cement. Tell us the story.
Father got hurt.
Yeah, tell us the story.
And that was in Memorial Hospital. I said, well, where is he? Well, he's downstairs. I'll take you down. And then that tricked my memory though. Why is he upstairs? Why is he downstairs? So I went down there and he's in the morgue.
He was not even a teenager yet. The police came to his house. And this is his father was trying to do better, giving his son a better life than he had. A better life than he had. And the cops come knocking on Mr. Jeckovich's door at 3063 Orleans Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York, 14303. And they said, boy, come with us. Where are we going? Your father got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Drop him off. They didn't take him in. They dropped him off in front of Memorial Hospital. Right?
I asked him where's my father. He said, we'll take you to him.
So he walks by himself to the reception desk. Then what happened?
The nurse took me downstairs.
And you're saying, what the hell? Why am I going down and not up?
Well, then they took me in the morgue. There was my father laid out with cement on his pants, stuff a little bit on his face and that.
Was his eyes closed?
His eyes were closed, yeah.
And then what they tell you to do?
He said, go through his pockets.
They told you, a young boy, not even a teenager, to go through his pockets.
Yeah.
And what did you find in those pockets?
Found a print job or tobacco can, those papers that they rolled it up in, and I found the keys for the house, and I found his quarter, a couple of quarters, a dime, a nickel, and a quarter, a nickel, a couple of dimes, and a couple of keys for the locks he had to work.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was the end of the road. What a different time. These men came over to work their asses off to give something back to the United States, to make their kids better. And I'm not, let's dwell on it, but look at the son of a bitch as illegal aliens today, causing all this turmoil. Their hands are out. They're not giving. They're taking. That generation would not take a cent from anybody. Not that they're offered it, but look at these bastards today. They're coming in, raising hell everywhere. Visa card, expensive hotel rooms, food. Sometimes the illegal aliens even say, I want the type of food I'm used to eating in my country. Well, if you like that food, let me kick you right in the ass so you can go back to that country, you lousy bastard. So look at the difference between what legal aliens that built this country hundreds of years ago, that came to Ellis Island, produced. Look in your TV screen, there he is, that's what they produce. And compared to the people coming in as illegal aliens today, they do nothing but raise hell and destroy.
Oh, they want to take those aliens back to Colombia. They shipped an airplane over, a military plane. They wouldn't take them back.
Yeah.
Trump said, you take them back, or I'll put a channel on you. You wish you took them back. So they took them back.
You're a very smart man. This guy knows everything in the A to Z. I never seen a person with so much stamina. Listen, 100 years old, let's say, he's right around the corner from 100. He reads to 2 or 3 in the morning, minimum. He gets up and he has his beautiful breakfast. What do you have for breakfast?
Oatmeal and brown sugar.
Sometimes scrambled eggs and bacon.
Minutes.
It's 6 minutes.
Give us a deal. What do you have for breakfast?
Oatmeal and brown sugar.
So here we go. Here we got a guy that's reading to 2 or 3 in the morning, gets up at 6 or 6:30 and having breakfast. I don't think you sleep at all.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes I don't sleep, is right, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't live with us. They got to have their 12 hours sleep.
No, not this guy. He lived in the snow for over years in the Battle of Bulge. Mr. Jeckovich was shot up through a sniper through his shoulder.
I got this foot.
He was beat up. He was stabbed.
And frostbite.
Frostbite in his foot. It still bothers him.
Yeah, frostbite bothers me, yeah.
Trench foot.
Yeah.
A dirty bomb blew up over his head. Took off his buddy's head. His head was laying down with just his glasses on his ear. Head off. That same bomb still has shrapnel in this man's
He had to
leg.
get a new hip.
He had to get a new hip. He's been through everything. And look at him. Look how well he looks. 100 years. Come on. That's another thing. That's a good point that he did that.
Yeah,
That generation is very humble.
I know they are.
And now today, these narcissistic bastards, if they take a piss and it goes right in the toilet and it doesn't go on the toilet seat, they're celebrating what a wonderful person my child is.
I know.
What a wonderful teenager my child is. Let's put him on Facebook. He took a piss and he didn't go on the toilet seat. These guys have been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And another rise, this guy doesn't sleep. Let me just tell you the facts. I'll tell you the facts. At the end of the war, he liberated the Holocaust camps. He liberated the concentration camps. And what you see there, rent spaces in your head 7, 10 times a day. It's an ongoing nightmare for 80 years, and the only time it ends is when he ends.
He also
Yeah.
liberated the POWs too.
What happens when you kick those gates down with thousands of other
You took
army
the
soldiers?
bolts and you
And
cut the gates.
he says don't feed them
And why was that?
because their stomachs are upset. They're not used to the food.
And the horror you seen, the horror, minutes,
3.5.
the horror you seen, beautiful young men, 220, 250, now down to 60 or 80 pounds, most dead, laying in filth, laying in their filth. And then the ones alive, the poor guys, didn't have enough energy to even stand up and walk.
Yeah.
They had to haul them all out. They had to try to carry them. And stuff like that you'll never forget. And the miserable, horrible experiments they did on these people. And also they exterminated almost 9 million Jews. Jews didn't do nothing wrong. They were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Minutes, please.
3.
Yeah.
3. And then occasionally we'll get a text. The Holocaust and the concentration camps are a hoax. Now what kind of ass
What did you see there, John?
Oh, yeah.
What did you
What-
see?
Let me finish what that text said. You get these guys that might have went to Harvard or Yale or Columbia, you know, the kinds with the bald head and a long ponytail. They're a real piece of fucking garbage from San Francisco. And they would ask, that's a hoax. These bastards were never in a war. They didn't witness what Mr. Jeckovich say, but they say it's a hoax. So I say to them, if this wasn't a family show, I would say to them, you know, we'll give them a middle finger salute, but this is a family show, we won't. But we will tell these sick San Francisco bastards, don't ever text us again about the Holocaust is a hoax. Minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what did you see there, John?
Right.
What did
He
you
doesn't
see
wanna go
there?
through that. It was misery what he's seen there.
Well, I see that.
I think
Holocaust.
yeah.
Oh, they had gas tanks in there to put the Jews in there, shut the doors, the windows, turn the gas out, and they kill them.
Yeah, and misery, filth everywhere. And for the fun of it, it was during the middle of winter, and these damn corrupt Nazis, these guys, the soldiers are just barely naked. All their clothes were stolen. And for the fun of it, they take fire hoses and hose them down in the middle of winter just to get a laugh out of it. Minutes, please.
Minute 25.
Or they back up the trucks, pull the tailgates down, put the wrap down there, and we're sitting there, and they put the machine guns and patter them back and forth.
Wow.
Minutes.
Minute 12.
All right, so this guy's mind is like a library. He's still here with us. Text the messages that you want. He'll call you up, he'll talk to you.
Or make a comment in the comments.
He'll make a comment in the comment section. It's 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. Or as we say in South Carolina, 407-366-double-out. Minutes?
40 seconds.
407-366-double-out. This studio time's just about up. We only rented for 30 minutes. What do you want to do now?
What time is it?
Let me see, hold on.
7:54.
What do you want to do now?
That's 8 o'clock. We got a whole hour.
What-
Let's put on Trump, yeah.
You wanna put
See
on
what
Trump?
he's got to say now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that sounds
What's how much time?
We got 14 seconds.
So, you want me to turn on the studio TV? What do you want to do now?
Put on the TV.
All right, what do you want to watch?
Trump.
Okay.
Okay, we're almost there. One more in the can. One more in the book.